Alright then, here we go. We're ready to play Week 9 of the Backyard Baseball League Season 7. We're having a rough season, as you can see from this screen here as the Melonheads. We've only beaten +2 3 times in 8 games. So we're looking to turn things around this week. We have a home game against the Braves. We lost to them 1-1 on opening week. And Nate Tastic has been another coach who has been struggling to score a lot, so I'm hoping I can put up a decent score against his team today and go on that to our second win of the season. The obligatory confirmation that I am playing on hard. And let's get started and see what the random number generator has thrown out this time. Last game I was definitely... Oh my goodness! I just cannot escape the bad days. Yet another one that's going to have probably a big impact. Alexis down to just 5 hitting, 6 running. That's going to make her have a tough time contributing on offense. Everybody else is good, and despite me setting the dates so that it was supposed to be on Stephanie Morgan's birthday, she does not get the boost, so that's unfortunate. Alright, so one of my best hitters on the team is having a bad day, so essentially I have 4 hitters that I know are decent to strong: Fernando, Tanya, Tony, and Angela. And everybody else is going to be probably needing the right pitch and a bit of luck in order to hit the ball really far. So this might be a tough game here, folks. I'll go and still stack the lineup with my speedsters to start off. Try to just get as many of those on base as possible. And then we'll see what Tanya can do after that, I think. To drive some in, Tanya, and then Steph looking for the clutch hit with her. Maybe. Well, actually, not Tanya, then Tony. No. Sorry, just following here thinking about it. We'll go Tony since he has... No, Tony's too likely to pop out. Just trying to decide what I want to do here. Okay. We'll do... Stephanie actually has decent chances of getting a sack, if not a hit that scores some runs. So we'll do Stephanie, then Tanya, then Tony, then Fernando, I think. No, I take my idea again. Tanya, Tony, Steph, Fernando, and then Alexis should have faster runners ahead of her on the bases. And Angela to clean things off and hopefully clear off the bases and leave things empty for the top of the lineup to go. Okay, I think that'll be the final version of this lineup. Let's take a look at what buffs the Braves might have. Henri having a bad day on fielding, maybe more likely to have some errors. I'll probably need that to have much of that. And Colleen Klinker having a bad day as well, slower and worse at fielding. It could be big depending on how much it is. On the whole, though, as I recall, the Braves are one of the tougher defenses in the league, so that might also serve to make this tough. We'll see how it goes. My expectations are low. I only got a +1 against this team in opening week, and that was with a better version of the Melonheads than we have here, since Alexis can't hit today. In any case, Judy Abwenza leads things off for the Braves. I think a couple of people, including myself, have predicted that Angela is going to... Or specifically, the Melonheads are going to pitch the most strikeouts this week, which essentially means Angela's going to pitch the most. So, performing well here with that puts me in better position to win. I can't remember if I predicted myself to win or the Braves to win. This might have been the rare time I actually was bold enough to predict myself. I don't think so, though. A few people predicted me, though. In any case, Angela strikes out Abwenza for a good start to the game. And Hillary Vargas, the hitter. Fouls off the second pitch. Let's see if we can get strike 3 here. Last game, we also suffered from poor stamina from Angela because of a couple of unfortunate plays on the field and the lack of ever getting more juice. So hopefully we'll get a juice box from one of these early strikeouts here, and that will make us a bit more secure. Strikes out Vargas, so 2 up, 2 struck out to start the game. Not a bad start. Henri Deschênes is now the hitter. Only a .333 average despite his impressive stats, so AI Henri has not been accomplishing too much this season, it looks like. And we do have the juice box, which I am very glad for. Okay, little pop-up here. Can't get to the ball in time. Maybe Fernando could have gotten him out. Probably not. He's fast enough to beat it out. And that brings up Shohei Ohtani. Let's see if he's able to blast a home run to put me down by 2 right to start the game, or if we're able to actually keep it in control of the situation. Liner up the middle, bounces off Tanya. She's not able to make the play, but Tony gets it, throws it to first, and we get him out. So we are able to keep it under control. 1 hit for the Braves in the first, but that's it. Going into the bottom of the first. Let's see if the Melonheads can get on the board here. Stuart Sullivan having some sort of a bad day, but not one that reflects itself in the on-screen stats. I failed to check. Going into last week, Stuart was leading the league in stolen bases for the indoor division. But he only got 1 last week as he was having a bad day, down to 8 running. So we'll see how much he's able to work to regain that lead or pad it, depending on the situation here in this game. Tanya not doing the best pitching job to start out. 2-1 after 3 pitches. And maybe that's low? No, just in the strike zone. Nasty pitch there. 2-2, so we've got to actually swing at some here. And looks like that was barely in the strike zone. Stu's able to foul it off. I think if we can get Otani off the mound, that will greatly increase our chances in this game. Otani is tall and can absolutely laser the ball, and not slow. On the whole, a very dangerous AI pitcher, and I seem to recall he gave me quite a few problems last time. And the 3-2 pitch, Stewart's able to land a perfect grounder there. He gets the first at about the same time that they pick up the ball. So we made Otani throw 7 pitches on the first batter, and didn't even get the out to show for it. Luan and Louis now up. Stewart and Lulu actually have the exact same average after 8 games. For whatever that's worth. And another ball from Shoei. He's pitched 8 pitches so far, and 4 of them have been balls. Stewart is able to steal second pretty easily, as tends to happen with Futterman behind the plate. Futterman definitely a subpar catcher. Trying for the hit and run, I forgot to stop stealing with Stewart, so can't do that again. 2-0 the count on Lulu. Take strike 1. Ground ball toward the first baseline, and they're both able to beat it out. So that puts fast runners on the corners with nobody out. A good start to the game here. And Otani's already thrown 11 pitches. Vicky Kawaguchi, the hitter. Natastic and I did not correspond at all as far as making any sort of no-grounder agreements. So grounders are on the table for as much as we want to do them for either of us. I am simply relying on the fact that he usually doesn't do grounders a lot, and his team is not very well built for grounder ball, especially at a field like this. And similarly, I don't intend to use grounders outside of these 3 speedsters and possibly Alexis because of her bad day. In any case, 1-2 the count on Vicky. And swing and a miss for strike 3. Looks like that one was slightly inside, so not the greatest batting job there, and there's 1 out. We do have speedy runners on second and third, with Tanya and Tony, I think, as the next 2 hitters. In theory, we should be able to knock them in. So Tanya Uchida, the hitter. And rips one out the shortstop line. Towards the shortstop, rips it up the middle, there we go. Vargas is not able to get the ball. Henri throws it in, but it is an RBI single for Tanya, and we're up 1-0. Bringing up Tony Del Vecchio, who managed to actually bat in, I think, multiple runs and get multiple hits last game. He's really had a tough time for me this season, but last week was a good game for him. Tanya had taken forever to steal second base despite being all the way up at 7 speed. That's Casa de Pablo for you, but she does get there. Runners on second and third with 1 out. And one count now on Del Vecchio. And shouldn't have swung at that one. It's a lanky pop-up. Otani's there, and he's got it. Should have waited for a better pitch, but with 1 strike on already, I didn't want to risk a quarter pitch. Fernando Diaz, a hitter now, has been a stalwart for me in previous seasons, but only batting 190 this season. He quite simply has struggled. Although it's worth noting that he's gotten quite a few walks this season as well. His on-base percentage is significantly higher. Pops it up towards second, Minotti is there, and she does have it. So once again, can't really get it done that well with my hitters. Scored 1 run, but no more than that. 1-0 as we go into the second inning. And Joella Minotti is up. As I recall, it was Joella who hit one of the 2 home runs against me in my first game against the Braves, which led to them scoring a total of 5 runs against me and turning my +6 into a +1. This time she watches the first 2 pitches go by, looking for a more appealing one, and doesn't get it as she just sits and watches 3 strikes go by. Easiest strikeout ever. And Christina Beattie is up to hit. Can smack the ball on occasion, but not the most concerning as a hitter, and is very slow. And I meant to run close to the bag with Angela, too close, so selected Stephanie, and I lost more juice than I would have liked to. Colleen Klinker, the hitter, having a bad day. Slower than normal and hitting nerfed to 1, so she should be a non-issue this game. Maybe we'll hit one into the ground and be an easy out. Maybe I'll get the strikeout. Angela, I believe, is still leading the indoor division in strikeouts, so looking to buff that for her. Pops it up into left. Tony with the over-the-shoulder grab for the 3rd out. So nothing doing in the second for the Braves, and it is 1-0. No heads. Stephanie Morgan, the hitter, the background shows that she is having a great day, so it looks like she got a very small stat boost that, whatever it was not big enough to make any visible changes to her stats. In any case, Stephanie had a rough game last week, was reduced to just 3 running, so couldn't accomplish too much. See if she can bounce back here. Pops one up towards short. 1 hopper, but unfortunately for her, it's to Vargas, who has one of the best arms in the league. So first out. Now Alexis Weiss, who bizarrely is shown as having a green background, even though she is most definitely having a bad day. Down to 5 hitting, 6 running. I don't expect her to accomplish much here. We'll see, though. Maybe she'll manage to squeak one past Fielder or something like that. That might have been a home run if she was having a normal day. As it is an error as the left fielder. I'm not sure who that is off the top of my head. Whoever she is, though, she is not able to field it properly. So, single on an error for Alexis, putting a runner on first and 1 out for Angela Del Vecchio. Going for the home run there with a meaty-looking pitch, but only able to foul it off. 0-1 the count. Take strike 2 as Alexis breaks for second. Shohei intercepts the ball midway on its way to second base, but with the error on it, still gives enough time for Alexis to make it to base. So that eliminates the possibility of Angela getting a double play here, unless I do something really dumb. Oof! And a super nasty pitch. I thought for sure that one was going to be a ball, but it was just barely in the low outside corner. So, a very unfortunate strikeout as now Stewart is up, and with our speedsters next up in the lineup, we have basically no opportunity here to score. Not with a slow Alexis on second base. We'll do our best, but... Well, that's 1 hit. Stewart's able to get to first, and Alexis the third. Now all we need is Lulu to poke one past the infielders, and Alexis can score. But if she doesn't do that, then we'll basically have used up all our speedsters and gotten no runs out of them. And that'll make for a very unfortunate inning indeed. So we'll see. Take strike 1 so Stewart can steal second base. As usual, it succeeds. So now we just need Lulu to poke one in the right spot for Alexis to score. Once again, I failed to cancel the hit and run in time. So I'll just need to activate the run after Lulu gets a hit. I could draw a walk as well, but that would bring up Vicky. I'd much rather have Lulu trying to get the hit here than Vicky. And it's a pop-up. Looks like we're going to need to rely on an error here. Vargas is there, and she does catch it, so no miracle here. We get 2 hits, but no runs as we're stranded. And the pitfalls of my lineup again show up. Third inning, it's still 1-0 Melonheads. Libby Futterman, the hitter for the Braves. Smacks one on the first pitch into center, but Lulu is right there. Futterman only halfway to second base by the time it's in the infield, so easy out despite the solid hit. And that brings up Tanya Lesko. That's who made the error. That let Alexis get on and ultimately was a bad thing because that wasted both Stewart and Lulu's at bats. Here hits a lanky pop-up. Easy out for Fernando. 2 done. Judy Abwenza, the hitter, struck out in the first, and if I'm going to be correct in my prediction that the Melonheads will have the most strikeouts this week, we need to start getting some more, so hopefully she'll strike out again here. Swing and a miss by Abwenza for strike 2. And let's see, this takes strike 3, so that's number 4 for the Melonheads. On pace to get a decent strikeout total, but probably not the most. So we're going to the bottom of the third inning here. It's 1-0 Melonheads. Got our weakest speedster up, followed by 2 of our best hitters on the team. Vicky takes strike 1. If I'd been thinking better, I would have probably swung at that one. Fouls strike 2 off. Otani has pitched over 30 pitches at this point, but no particular signs of slowing down. Vicky fouls another one off. What I really need to do is score enough runs to push him off the mound, but scoring that many runs has been difficult for me this season. High for ball 1, 1-2 to count. And that one's also high. Vicky once again caught swinging at a ball for strike 3. Her second strikeout of the game, and Tanya Uchida is a hitter. Struck out 3 times so far in 7 outs. Again, that's been one of my big weaknesses this season. I wonder if it comes with me being more selective with the pitches. It's possible that it comes with some sort of benefit in when I do hitting the ball better, but if that is it. It does not outweigh the cost, I would think, given my low run title. In any case, Tanya hits one into left field, ruled a ground rule double on technicality of it bouncing off the screen. Probably would have been a double in any case. So runner on second, nobody out for Tony Del Vecchio. Tony, then Fernando, 2 of the 4 hitters I have this game, are up next. So we'll see if working together they can get Tanya across the plate. Not Tony. Tony once again fails to deliver. Bouncing one to short where Vargas is able to make the play, but Vargas throws it too hard. It bounces off Beatty's head. Tanya caught between bases as Joella does have good enough arm to stop her from going to third, but ultimately not enough to get her a base. She is safe, but tired out further. 2 of my slower runners on base. So Fernando's going to need to really rip one here for me to have a good chance at scoring. I did get the Stephanie Morgan boost. It was not big enough to even change any of the baseball ratings. And Fernando hits one to the shortstop. But Vargas with the intentional error, I think, to turn the double play. Vargas bobbles it, but my players are too slow, so I get in the double play anyway. So that might very well be what it takes for the AI to get ahead of me now that they have a power-up. Especially if that happens. Tanya decides to run away from the ball instead of running towards it when I click where I want her to run, so now there's a runner on first. Henri Deschênes up to bat, and they have a power-up, so say goodbye to the shutout. Because it's about to be ending, I'm pretty sure. Although we'll see, Henri whiffs on the first pitch. There's a hope. Just barely bounces off the wall instead of going out of the park. And what's-her-face's slow running speed, Vargas, I think, is enough to keep limited to a single for Henri. So, screaming line drive that went pretty pretty well, and Shoei swings and whiffs on the first pitch. There's a chance there that that was her last use of the power-up. We'll see. Swings and misses on another one. And I'll tell you, this season for Angela has been the epitome of if you need to get something done, if you need something to be done right, do it yourself. Because if she doesn't strike out the hitters, half the time my fielders completely mess it up and just keep letting the runners on base. Here, though, we use a fireball on Shoei to end that particular threat. 5th K for Angela on the game, and there's now 1 out with runners on first and second. Maybe a screaming line drive waiting on the wings. Probably not, though. At least if there is one, Joella chose not to use it. And we get it into the infield on Reef, forcing Vargas home straight into the tag. Not quite able to tag him out at third, unfortunately, for the double play, but that is a 2nd out. Runners on the corners now. Runner on first is slow. The batter is slow with BD. So decent chance here of us getting out of this game. Getting out of this inning. But nope. Nope, they had another screamer, and they used it. That's going to be a base hit for BD, scoring 1 run, and it is now a tie game, folks. Also, I just now realized I forgot to change my defensive alignment. Stewart is my normal center fielder. I put him in right last game because of his running nerf, and forgot to put him back. Swing and a miss for Clinker. 0-1 the count. The good news about this game is that I am the home team this time, so if it comes down to a 1-1 again, I will have the tiebreaker. However, I do not want to rely on my opponent only scoring 1 run. I might need to, though, because I've been pretty bad this season at scoring runs myself. In any case, it's now 1-1 going into the bottom of the 4th. Had multiple power-ups used against us, but only gave up 1 run on the whole, so that was pretty good, all things considered. Stephanie Morgan, the hitter now, 0-for-1 today. Swings at the first pitch. Unfortunately, that results in only a small grounder. That's an easy out. Nerfed Alexis Weiss now up. So, looks like this is probably going to be another unproductive inning. If we're lucky, we'll get out 1, 2, 3 on my speedsters. We'll get a chance to score next inning. If things don't go so well, this might end up more like the second. Well, we'll see. Alexis hits one into right. Able to get a decent hit despite the nerf. The right fielder bobbles it, and that helps her to get to base in time. So Alexis with a single, 2-for-2 despite the bad day. The problem is she's too slow, and that causes problems on the base pass. But we'll see if Angela can make something of this. Struck out looking. It's been a few games since Angela hit one out. She's just had trouble producing at the plate for me like all of my other hitters this season. And they pull out the... oh, goodness. They pull out the through-the-pitcher relay strategy. And Alexis is caught stealing. A variety of factors went into that, including the trip and them unexpectedly throwing it poorly, and the catcher being so bad that he threw it through the pitcher, and Alexis's bad day. In any case, if Angela does get out, that'll make this honestly a good thing. But we'll see. 3-0 is not where I want to be with that. Fouls it off. If Angela gets like a walk or a single, though, that's going to be really bad. And we'll put Stewart up without a prayer of actually accomplishing something with his at-bat. Well, that's a sky-high one. That's going to be the old pop-up error. And Shohei ignores it. Angela just barely gets to first base. And that is honestly the worst outcome possible, because now we're just going to waste Stewart's at-bat. Well, I could deliberately steal second base and get Angela out on purpose. I'm pretty sure that's still on the tactics list. I don't like to do that, though. I don't like to play the game like that. I'm not going to. Still, I don't like to force my kids to deliberately take their chances. It's just the way I like to play this game. I want them to put forth their best effort and have their best chance of succeeding no matter what. So, in this case, that almost certainly results in an out, when otherwise we would have been home free. Instead, third out, Stewart wasted. Whoop-de-doo. That's the same line of thinking that led to me never doing the full meta play style back in the seasons before we started putting the rules about that. Just how I play it might cost me the game in this case. Probably not, though. I'm doing badly enough. I'd probably lose regardless, so. Libby Futterman's so slow from all her throws that Angela's able to just run her and tag her on the way to first base. You don't see that every day. One out. Tanya Uchida, the hitter. Angela with only 6 strikeouts on the game. Overall, this is yet another total dud of a game for the Melonheads, unless we have a massive rally in the 5th inning. Oh, and 2 the count on Lesko, though. Let's see if we can get a strike. There we go. 7th strikeout on the game for Angela. She'll get a decent total again. But at this point, probably not enough to make the Melonheads the correct answer for the Predictor Challenge. Judy Abwenza is a hitter. 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. Let's see if we can make that a trio. If Abwenza can record an entire inning's worth of strikeouts on her own. Poor hitting rating, no doubt coming in handy here. I'm not sure what the power contact split on it is, but I'm willing to guess that the contact side of that is pretty low. In any case, though, she is able to get the bat on the ball this time and make it a dinky ground out instead of a strikeout. Alright, going into the bottom of the 5th inning. This is our last chance to put up a big score. Game is tied at 1 apiece. Luann Louie, the hitter, 1 for 2 today with a single, and then getting stuck with a nasty base running situation in the 2nd inning. So, I brought in this new lineup style of putting all my speedsters first. Shohei is tired. Look how long it took him to get that ball. He is a tired pitcher. Anyway, so I tried stacking up all my quick hitters at the top of the lineup. Something new, and maybe that would help, but it seems pretty definitively to not be helping, and the downside's happening more of the time, which is that. Phew. Close to another through the pitcher relay. In any case, the downside of stacking my lineup with speed, which seems to be coming into play more, and that is the fact that I'm in more trouble if the bottom of my lineup does better than I expected, essentially, and we end up with 1 or 2 slow runners on base. So, next game I'll probably try switching that up a bit more. The problem really is I have, 1 too few hitters on my team. And it's not helped when, every game I have somebody having a bad day at the plate. We do pull off the double steal successfully, setting things up nicely for Tanya. 2 on, nobody out. Very similar situation to what we had in the first. And that resulted in an RBI single her first time. Tanya is one of the few hitters this season, or this game, who has been producing. The only hitter, really. And looks like she does it again with a liner that goes past Vargas. Lesko going up for it. Gets it in time to stop more than 1 run from scoring, but Lulu does score easily. It is 2-1, and the Melonheads are back ahead. Let's see if we can hold that lead this time. Tony Del Vecchio, the hitter. 1 for 2 today with a fielder's choice. He's been his usual, not very helpful self at the plate this game. Takes ball 1 outside, and fortunately for me, Futterman does choose to throw it to third instead of trying to get it to second. That does let Tanya get there in time. Mello talking about the flexibility of having someone who can go for speed or for power at the top of the lineup, and I totally agree. I like having my top hitter and runner at the top of the lineup. I had that with Lindsay in Season 5, which was fantastic. I had that with Jane Davis in Season 6, which was close to as good. I just don't have that player this time because of my strategy trading for the middle rounds of the draft. I just wasn't able to put together that sort of a lineup. Joella throwing the third, Tanya trying to beat the throw, and she's successful. So Tony with the RBI single. It's 2-1. Tony Delvecchio accomplishes something for once. And runners on the corners with nobody out. Still, Fernando Diaz the hitter. He's unfortunately 0 for 2 today. Continuing to struggle at the plate. And given that he's one of the few people I'm trying to count on to be one of my hitters, that's not very good. Tony is able to steal second. But yeah, Fernando's just been struggling at the plate to do much more than draw walks. Strike 2. Let's see if we can get a good ball, rip it up the middle, and score another run. Fouls this one off, keeps the at-bat alive at least. I don't think I commented on that before, but we did in fact bring Christina Beattie on the mound. Fresh pitcher, at least not the scariest defensive presence on the mound due to the low speed. That does put Shoei at first. He's tired, so that probably means grounders around there will have a better chance than normal of being successful. And Fernando with an opposite field hit, nobody there to cover it. Unfortunately, it stops moving a bit too quickly, and phew! Futterman with the error at the plate that lets Tanya score when otherwise she would have been dead in the water. That was almost a heartbreaking out of tone, but instead it is the RBI single for Fernando Diaz. It's now 4-1. Stephanie Morgan up with the imperceptible birthday boost. I'll show everybody, latecomers, nothing in the ball ratings. Also, Alexis having a bad day. So we'll see if she can get a good clutch hit here up the middle, or even just a grounder like towards first. That works out. And I'm going for the up the middle hit. It does get up the middle. Unfortunately, Joella is there, and they're able to get the... Oh no! And I thought I was safe at third. I was not. I should have rushed Tony a little bit. I did not, and instead they get the double play, and that is going to bring our hopes for this game crashing down. No runner on third instead of 1, 2 outs instead of 1, and 1 power up for the opposing team instead of 0. Stephanie just barely beats the relay throw to second. Alright, so that's a bad situation. The good news is Alexis has managed to be 2 for 2 today despite having the bad day. Whoops. And she almost does it again with another error by Vargas. Unfortunately, Vargas is able to get the laser throw. I got distracted by sending Stephanie when I shouldn't. And that, combined with Alexis's bad day, was enough to get her out. Angela does not get the chance to knock any more runs in. So, a really good start to the rally, but a really frustrating end. It only scored 3 runs. Still, that makes it one of the better rallies of the season. And the first thing we do is have Stewart turn an error as Vargas makes it first successfully. The stage is set for the power-ups to come, and our lead to be destroyed. Henri Deschênes up 2 for 2. He did score the only one run for the Braves so far on the back of a couple of screaming line drives. Take strike 1. So we are desperately now going to try to strike everybody out or see enough shenanigans happen that they somehow don't score. And we can hold on to this measly 3-run lead. It seems unlikely, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Very deliberately painting the corners, barely aiming at them at all. There's only more balls than normal. We're going to go for this. This is going to be really bad if it fails, and Henri manages to hit it. Very high chance that it succeeds. It does succeed. Henri Deschênes is out, their fastest runner. Not going to get on base here. 8th strikeout on the game for Angela, and we have some hope. Shohei Ohtani up, and he is going to have a power-up on his side again, but he is also, I think, completely gassed. Yeah, completely gassed. So despite the crazy bunt, he's not going to get too far. Unfortunately, my team... Actually, this is good. Yes, it dies in the infield. Unfortunately, we can't get the out because Alexis went up to try to get it. Had it not been for that, we would have gotten the out at third. Still, only a single via the crazy bunt. It didn't leave the infield. And my somewhat slow team at this field is going to come in handy. Because they cannot get a crazy bunt into the outfield if it goes like that. Now, another crazy bunt will score 1 run. Vargas is going to be able to score. On the other hand, now they're down to 2 outs as Shohei Ohtani makes an extremely extremely ill-advised attempt to steal second base. So now they're down to their last out. All we need is something subpar here from Joella, and we can get this done. If there's another crazy bunt, though, say goodbye to 1 run of our differential. Can I beat +2 for only the 4th time this season? No power-ups. Especially not with crazy bunt, is there? Painting the corner. Strike 3! And that is the game. We managed to successfully withstand the power-ups in the 6th. And this is, by my standards this season, a smashing success with a 4-1 final score and a +3. From that, you can tell just how good of a season this has not been for me. But in any case, let's go and submit the score to the bot, and then we will have one result here to view. And then if you folks stick around, we will have the announcement of the player of the game. Where's the bot? Here's the bot. A +3. If the Braves had a bad game, I could win this. S7 EXG9. This is the 9th game of the season, yes. Alright, let's see. Submitted. Final score. Oh my goodness. Well, that happened. Final score is 17-3 as the Braves went off for like the first time this season. I did not have a single hope going into this game, so I guess it's a good thing I didn't bother to do any better than this. So much for winning. Yeah. Yep, that happened. Statistics for the game then. Player of the game, without a doubt, is Tanya Uchida. In a game where none of my other hitters were really able to deliver, Tanya delivered in spades, 3 for 3 with 2 singles, a double, and 2 of my 4 RBIs. A run scored of her own. Not the most impressive stat line, perhaps compared to what other people's were putting up, but by far the best in this game. 11 stolen bases on the game, as you can see there, also with Futterman having a difficult time back there. And only 3 strikeouts. That's pretty good for me for recently. Or for the season. So, much better result than normal. As far as pitching stats, Angela struck out 9. I am pretty sure somebody's going to get more than 9 this week. So Angela will not be the top. The Melons will not be the top strikeout team this week. 1 run allowed. So pretty good game on the whole from Angela. She's now at 84 strikeouts on the season. She's on pace to get by far my best strikeout total in the season yet. On the other hand, she has given up 15 runs already in just 9 games. Alright, and next after that, Angels, Diamondbacks, Fishes, Bombers, Reds. I think I have a small chance at beating the Reds, a smaller chance at beating the Fishes. Maybe if things go super duper well, I could beat the Bombers. Very likely not, though. I'm seeing a likely scenario. Given how the season has been going, I mean, you look at my scores here, by far the most likely result is 113 for the season. If things go well, I could see 3-11. But in any case, it's going to take a miracle for this not to be my worst season yet. In any case, next week we'll be playing the Angels and their murderous defense. That is going to be a blowout loss, I think. Even if Nate doesn't play well, we're going to lose. But in any case, thanks for hanging around and watching, whether here on the stream or later on YouTube, and I will see you later.